Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mining Now. I am Gus Miner, your host for this show, and we're joined today with Nick Tranter from Stryde, and we've got something special for you today because we'll be able to dive in a little bit on what's going on at Stryde, and I'm sure you'll be just excited as we are. Welcome aboard, Nick.
Good afternoon, Gus, and it's really nice to have you here. So my name is Nick Tranter. I'm the Business Development Manager for New Energy and Mining at Stryde. And in this role, I really try and help explorers gain valuable insights and knowledge into the subsurface for the use of high-resolution seismic data.
Very good. No, thanks for that. And it segues perfectly into my first question, right? So if anybody's catching us for the first time and they're wondering, who is Stryde and where do you come from and what problems are you solving in particular? Maybe we can unpack that a little bit.
Yeah. So really, Stryde was created. We were founded in late 2019 to solve the problem of how can we make seismic a lot more affordable and accessible for onshore companies who are exploring for different natural resources. And to achieve this, we created this node here, which is the world's smallest, lightest and lowest cost onshore seismic receiver node. But why is this node so important and what in the whole seismic acquisition process? So nodes commonly referred to as geophones.
Okay.
And when you acquire seismic data, there are two key elements. Firstly, you have your seismic source, and this will send, so it's a bit like dynamite or vibrosize, and this sends a wave field into the subsurface. And this wave field, as it goes to the subsurface, it will start reflecting and refracting off the different geological layers. And when it bounces back up to the surface, this data, this wave field needs to be captured. And it's these seismic sensors which capture that inbound wave field and data. And for a lot of surveys would have hundreds or thousands of these deployed over an area. And these nodes capture that data. We can then process it. And then with the processing, we then create geological images of the subsurface.
Okay, no, very cool. So these are basically freestanding, right? Like they're not tied to, they're not tied to any infrastructure. You're kind of setting them out there and then letting them record as things are happening, so you can get that real time information. And then what's the recovery process for these, as far as getting that data?
Yeah, so it's historically seismic receivers or geophones have been quite big, bulky units of cables hanging out of them. A bit like when you're growing up at home, you would have had a telephone which would have been plugged into the wall and would have had a handset and cable connecting it. Well, this is like the new generation, a bit like an iPhone. So it's cableless, it's wireless, and it's really revolutionising how seismic is acquired. It means that you need less people to go out there to field and deploy them. You need less vehicles. It's got low environmental footprint. And it's got improved HSSE with less people, less vehicles. And we can go out there and deploy a lot more quicker and faster than ever before, and also retrieve them quicker and faster than ever before. And to use them in the field, they're relatively straightforward. You'd normally bury them about 2 or 3 inches into the ground. And then it's there continuously recording the data, and it can be recording data for up to 50 days.
Okay, no, that's very cool. I mean, it certainly solves a problem of people inadvertently cutting cables and and damaging the infrastructure to support all these. Because I mean, I'm guilty of it. There's a lot of things that could happen in a mining environment that may not have been predictable, right? To sustain it. So having these freestanding and being able to move them around quickly and also avoid that connectivity break because they're essentially wireless is fantastic. Yeah. So that being said, now that we talked about the technology and how versatile it is. What kind of case studies or use cases have you put in place that have significantly benefited from this product, and for people to know that are watching the episode that this applies to me?
Yes, yeah. So it's as previously mentioned, we were founded in late 2019, and we actually come from oil and gas heritage. But since coming to market, we've seen quite strong uptake in the non-oil and gas market. So we're now seeing that over 2/3 of our business and 2/3 of our projects are non-oil and gas, of which mining is our second biggest market. We've deployed the system on over 65 different mining projects to date, ranging from the territories in Australia through to uranium exploration and coal exploration, copper exploration, through to projects in Botswana, Asia, China, Europe, North America, and down into Latin America.
Almost everywhere.
Yes. Global footprint, we can say. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. So if people are watching in right now and they're wondering, how to identify that I'm the perfect candidate to take on your product? Who would that be? What is that?
Yeah.
What is that?
So technology can really be used across the whole of the exploration process. So we can acquire different types of surveys to sort different types of means and to provide that subsurface knowledge and that sort of geological and geophysical information to the exploration companies. So if you're first looking at an area, moving in somewhere, and you want more of a regional sort of understanding, sort of basin-wide structure, let's say, then we can acquire what we'll call regional surveys. They're normally in the form of 2D transects across the basin, which just gives a bit more of a fundamental understanding of what the geological structure might look like in the subsurface.
Okay.
But as you advance during the exploration process, you might want more resolution or more detail in the subsurface, and this is when you might bring in a tighter grid of these 2D transects,
okay,
or you might acquire or even a 3D survey, which will give you this 3D volume of the subsurface. And what that really allows, it allows the explorer to de-risk the subsurface, have a better idea of where the target might be, so that when they actually look at going into that drilling of the borehole phase, they should have a better understanding of where to put that drill hole, so they have less failures and hopefully better success.
No, very cool. I mean, it seems to be a very, very versatile product, and I'm sure many that are catching this episode now are seeing this applies to me. So that being said, how did they get a hold of you? How did they get a hold of Stryde, and what's the first steps in evaluating a project and starting things off?
Yep. So probably the best way to contact us is to visit our website, stryde.io. Just contact us through the website. We also usually present a lot of conventions and events, so you might you're welcome to stop by the booth and visit us there.
Yeah, something like PDAC.
Yes.
Right? Here we are, and there's certainly a lot of events around the world, and that they can catch up with you. And maybe if what would be the invitation for people that have not maybe considered Stryde before? What's the invitation you want to set out there for them to reach out to you?
So in mineral exploration, there are lots of different geophysical methods which are used to try and better understand subsurface. But only reflection seismic actually maintains resolution at depth. And it's that extra resolution which provides extra knowledge, which will hopefully de-risk these mining campaigns moving forwards. And to conduct these seismic reflection seismic surveys, Stryde is one of the best options out there. And
well, there you go. You've heard it right from Nick. Stryde.io. I would say go ahead, check it out, take a look at their website. You've seen the product live here. Nick did a really great job explaining what it does and how it can save a lot of impacts in your footprint and how you're managing your data now. Go ahead and reach out. And I thank you for tuning in straight from PDAC 2025.